Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today is...
Kyle McIntyre.
Oh, yeah. So we got some What's News. Let's jump into it. Kyle, what's new, what's grooving, what is good in your world, what's good in your life?
I bought some stuff.
Always buying shit, dude.
I've relaxed a little bit.
So
instead of buying... I had to work for this one. I actually instead of buying on
You're fucking working for a living.
I know. Working for the weekend.
Yeah. There you go.
So instead of just buying on Reverb, where you're like, I'm gonna type in, I'm gonna search it and I'm gonna buy it. Okay, it'll be here in 7 to 14 days.
Yeah.
No, I actually hit this guy up.
Okay.
On Craigslist. Actually, it was Craigslist. Set up something after work, drove over to his house, picked it up.
You wined and dined him.
I tried to get the best deal I could. And
dealing, yeah.
Turned out to be this guy, this elusive creature on the internet. Maybe you've heard of him? Yeah, that was Steve Rao, actually.
Oh, Steve from
60 Cycle Hum.
Yeah, because, some people may not have heard of that podcast. No, I fucking doubt it, but yeah.
If you know of us, you know of them.
Okay, so it was...
So basically, he had baited me into buying something and it worked. So basically, it was a joke. I think he originally was a joke. Maybe this guy will buy, but he baited me here's a Phase 90, MXR. If it's $60 for anyone unless your name is Kyle McIntyre, and then it's $75.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was funny, and I sent him a message back. I knew because it was the area he lived in, and I know he had just bought that board. Yeah. And I was like, I sent it to him I sent it as a funny I know what you're trying to pull here, and then
pull this.
He's like, yeah, it's funny post, I didn't realize it was going to take you, 20 minutes to find this post after I posted it.
Yeah. You're like, and bitch, I got MXR on lock, dude. The whole Tri-City area.
Yeah. Tri-City.
Just making shit up.
And then he's like, yeah, still 75 though. It's funny. He's like, he posted it, still 75.
I'm JK, but give me that green, bitch.
Yeah, and then we made a deal. I had to grind him down.
Yeah.
And then
I had to get the app grinder and then find him.
I was like, you know what? I don't want that pedal, but I just wanted to say good job, golf clap.
You're doing the dance a little bit. Gotcha.
And then I was like, I really wanted this pedal instead of that pedal. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, you know what? Do you still have this other pedal you had posted, and then this pedal? So it was Crybaby and the Phase 90.
What are you, negging him?
Yeah. And I was like, you still have those? He's, oh yeah, I do. I'm like, would you do a bundle deal? No response.
Oh, he's got you, bitch.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, you know what? Don't worry about it. You're already giving me a good bro deal. I'd take it. I'll meet up with you, after work, late night. Let's hang out. Let's talk. Anyways, I couldn't find his place. I used to live in the same complex that he lived in.
Yeah. Would you just go back to your old
I just
condo?
Waited at my own,
condo. You're just texting your wife, let me in. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Where are you? Well, anyways, I had this stupid incident where I typed it into my phone and I selected there, you know how you type, I said, you type it in the suggested addresses. I clicked it. Let's say whatever program you're using to look up your drive, whatever, and it gave
Waze?
me the 3 complexes down in the same area, 3.
Were you using Waze?
Anyways, yes, I was.
So Waze has let me down, us down
many times,
and yes. Kyle still says it's the best, dude.
It is the best
because when it works,
it gets you in the general area.
Yeah, no, wait, okay.
I was 100 feet away.
Okay, I was 100 blocks away, dude. What's the big deal? I need more steps. Okay, Waze is looking out for me. My best interest.
My pedometer, man. Yeah. I got to get those numbers up.
They have the app. We're working and talking together, dude. It's really advanced.
It does. If you
fucking suck, dick.
Yeah, it does. It does suck because it's
but
you're halfway through a drive. It's do you want to stop at McDonald's and get a drink? You're or a breakfast sandwich. You're yeah, I do, but I'm driving somewhere. I'm late for work. So anyways,
you're gonna get bitched at anyways, so might as well just stop and get a beer and just like take the edge off.
get
like,
wasted.
You know what, Waze? I don't know why
like
Brian hates you so much. I mean, yeah, you do take us off the road and add more time to our schedule. But I love
never added time.
You know that
it's added turns though.
You know that I love that you miss.
Yes,
which adds time.
If you miss turns.
When you
doing this zigzag pattern through a suburban neighborhood in Los Angeles, it kind of wears you down.
No, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Waze.
I know. Okay, so let's get back to that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you went to Steve's house.
Yes. So I missed. I was. Anyways. Finally linked up. Got the pedals. I got a Phase 90 and like your standard Crybaby. Yeah. Basically. So. I may have some bigger plans for that Crybaby.
Okay, but did you get a good deal? Are you going to tell us numbers or what?
I don't know.
We're not going to do the numbers game here? Well, I guess you'll just tell me off air so I can like berate you if it was good deal or not.
Yeah, I mean, I want Steve to get his numbers up.
He screwed it, I bet.
Yeah, it was good though.
Oh fuck. Jesus Christ. All right,
so and then
you have more. Okay,
so I got those two pedals. That took 20 minutes. And then the other night I hung out with actually just last night. Hung out with Co. Drove to his house, hung out. We filmed we did a podcast.
Who is Co? People might not know who he is.
Back it up, Co Schneider from the Flippin' Flippers.
There you go.
He invited me over.
Context is good.
As soon as I got in that door, he locked it and he's like, "We're doing a podcast. Hope you brought your gigging bass amp and some pedals you want to show me."
I hope you brought your vocal cords because they're gonna get used tonight.
Oh man, we recorded for like 2 hours. We just talked, and we'll see how.
And there's like about probably 20 minutes of usable content.
Because I just was like, so the European Union. I mean, I don't know what's going on with them. Oh my god!
You talk of shit that you have no idea. Okay, reel it in.
Anyways,
shit, man, too much of that whiskey.
I know.
Okay. What? So
we had fun. We played some stuff. We talked.
We're just guying it up and duding it up.
Duding it up, broing it down.
Swag McNasty.
I really liked. We plugged up my bass rig after a couple technical difficulties, and because of me, I got to mess with his. The Dirty Robot, which I really liked. It's from Digitech.
Digitech.
Yeah. Digitech.
RP and peace. Deuces.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. And then running that through the Binford.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
And then just run some really cool, like ominous sounding, like it sounded like if you were walking into a haunted house, like.
What is the Dirty Robot?
I have no idea. Don't ask me.
Bit crusher kind of deal.
Yeah, it was.
You're like probably.
I played while Co was like. That sounds cool. I'm like, yeah, turn on that Binford. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds really crazy. We went to town on that.
Yeah, because I'm like the Binford, I'm like, kind of don't know what it does, but it's tight.
Yeah.
And then Dirty Robot, you're like, I don't know what it does, but it's tight.
Yeah, and we tried some solid gold pedals that he had.
Nice.
For his, stay tuned to their episode for that, I guess. But we talked about it during.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, don't want to give away the whole farm.
No.
But, okay. I mean, I guess we can cut it off there.
We did, that's, I guess, my what's new.
Yeah.
What about you, Brian?
For me, we're both participating in the Flippin' Flippers, the secret patronizing group.
Yeah.
They have, what we're doing is a box of love.
Well, you did it already.
Yeah, I have mine and I sent mine out. We're just swapping for a little bit. I'm like, oh, you guys, I want to send somebody else something cool, and they send somebody else something cool. So it's like, I think Co and Paul, I think mainly Co actually like coordinated the whole thing. So with the people in the group, it's a cool idea. I dig it. So far, I sent a couple things out to Doug King. Shout out. He said he's a drive dirt kind of guy. So I'm like, okay, send him a couple drive pedals, and then
what'd you send him?
I sent him the 50/50 from Pelican Noiseworks.
That's
I was like,
two drive pedals, right?
2 in 1. And then I also sent him my Sir Riot pedal.
Damn.
So I'm like, that's like one of my favorite distortion
You
pedals.
want to drive? You got it.
Oh, so good. And then I was gonna send him my Sweet Honey, but then you said like, no, that pedal kind of sucks. I'm like, it's my favorite
Hold
one.
on, I didn't say it sucked. It's like
it's not
a super quality pedal, but it's not like over the top, and it's not underwhelming, but it's like that's a drive pedal, and it's super consistent.
Yeah,
maybe that's a better way.
It's very like amp like, but it's not like an amp in the box kind of deal. I like it a lot, but I'm like, okay,
are you making fun of the amp in the box thing?
I don't want to underwhelm Doug, so I'm like, okay, I'll send him the Riot because like. That's guy a badass pedal. Packs a punch. So
yeah, you like fly across the room like Marty McFly.
Boom. Yeah, and then I, in return from Paul, he sent me, the Binford from Pelican Noiseworks.
Oh,
yeah. So
you got to try Binford too.
I still have one in my possession.
So there's 2 in town, basically.
Yeah, and then the Excess from Old Blood Noise.
Yeah.
So he sent me because he knows I sent him a picture of my boards and he knows I have the fractal and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, this is kind of what I do. He's like, you know what? I want you to get some weird shit.
Yeah.
He didn't say shit. I want you to get some weird stuff. Some weird things, okay? It's gonna mess you up, duder. And so he sent me those, and I was like, oh. I opened the package like, holy fucking shit balls.
You didn't say, oh snap?
No. I was like, and I plugged them both up, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. The Binford, I'm like, honestly, I have no fucking clue about it, and I'm like, and you know,
hit up Leon.
Oh, Paul was like, hit up Leon, he'll tell you. I'm like, I want to figure it out. I mean, let me like mess with it a little bit more. But the thing is, like, none of the knobs tell you anything. It's just like they're all like bits
jokey.
From Home Improvement.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? I'm still gonna try this out a little bit more. And then the Excess is a chorus delay distortion. Okay. And so I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what I'm turning on and stuff like that.
That's kind of a strange combination, actually.
And I'm like, that it is. And so I'm like, it's cool. They're both cool, and I am not going to talk too much about them because I haven't figured both of them out yet. So I just mentioning that I have them, and I'm like, okay. So maybe at the end of the month when I send it, before I send it back, I'm like, okay, let me see what these like. I want to figure them out and figure out like when you can use them, and maybe give.
You should do a live stream.
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of it for me with gear. But we both had one.
Yeah.
We went to a show. We went to go see the Ataris.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of our buddies open up the show. Fallen Monuments and The Rough, and it was a good show.
Pretty legit local bands here.
Yes. There was something worth mentioning that they had our friends The Rough. They had a couple technical difficulties. The guitar player, drummer was fine, bass player were fine, but guitar player was like, I could tell like as he was setting up, I'm like, this is taking a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like something's not like flicked on the thing, strumming guitar, no sounds coming out. And I was like, could see like from like a couple people back, and I was like, okay, I just shimmied my way up to the front and onto the stage and helped out. I feel like it's like a thing where it's like, with great power comes great responsibility.
Everyone looks to you.
I couldn't like let it just like, let's let it ride, let him fail. And it was like,
did Uncle Ben, did his words resonate through you?
Ringing like, you have the power of the tone.
With great tone comes great responsibility.
And it's just like, it was like unfortunate. It's like a perfect storm that everything like, okay, a cable went bad, and then like a tuner was faulty, and then like he was playing and like somebody spilled beer on like some of his
like a switcher or something.
Yeah, amp switcher and stuff like that, and that was going on the fritz, and it was going like I was like, oh shit, bypass that, and I'm up there, and then I had a couple homies that are like, oh shit, we got the tone jerk. I'm like, who the fuck is that? He's like, now I'm like, that's like adding on to like, you better fucking fix it now.
was Jesse Cook?
Yeah,
he's like says it and looks around.
He's all like kind of like drunk. He's like, tone jerk's up in here. And I'm like, so now I'm like, I better fix it.
Yeah.
But it was like a thing. I was like, oh man, it was like perfect storm. I think some of the tubes were going bad, and so like the amp was just like, it was like cooking. Like we had it like basically on dimed on 10 for 50 watts, and it was like, but I ended up making it through the show, and it was kind of like a thing. It didn't like really like people like in the crowd, they didn't really notice too much.
And they still played really well, and they made it through, and it's kind of like a sucky situation, but they made the best of it. You know?
Yeah, and that was a kind of a thing. It was like they were stoked too. They were like, "Oh, thanks so much for helping," because it's like sometimes you'd be at a show and just people just like watch and be like, huh, "I'm just gonna watch you squirm."
Yeah,
some
people want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, so it felt like it was a thing. Oh, and you posted in the picture in the group of like I was like ended up like there's being like holding cables in and together, kind of like I felt like
you're like Doc Brown,
like. Because cables were getting like had like crappy connections and stuff like that, but it ended up working out. That's why I'm like, I always like feel like we should be like we always bring it back, but we're always like Boy Scouts. We bring extra everything.
Yeah,
like never have broken like a bass string. Knock on wood.
Plastic.
I'll knock on plastic, but it's like I bring extra bass strings, I bring extra guitar strings, picks, capos.
I have my rack tuner.
Yeah,
and then there's the pedal tuner.
Yeah, and then so it ended up, it was a good show, but it's worth mentioning that I'm like, oh shit, things went haywire, but I think
they recovered.
They recovered pretty well, and like I was happy to help, so it was good, and then. Then we saw the Ataris, and they were fun. They were good. They played really well. Yeah. It was a great show, sold out. Like I said, it was good vibes. Everybody was singing along to like, I think it was like their So Long Astoria tour. Yeah, they did. So they played the whole record and stuff like that. And they did a couple like old bangers and stuff like that.
I love that record.
Yeah, it was good.
Even though when it first came out, it didn't hit really hard.
Yeah, and
I love it. They had like the one song that hit really hard. Unfortunately, was a cover.
Yeah, and that's what like sucks. And I think that like one thing that overshadowed the whole rest of the album.
What's weird is like his lyrics. Traditionally, I mean, they like, usually when you listen to songs, like, oh, your lyrics rhyme. His lyrics don't rhyme a lot. Like they just like they really flow though. Yeah. They tell a story about how you feel when a certain situation happens, and that's what's like. I don't know what happened to him, but that. Like I can feel that right here, right in my chest.
So that kind of brings into like a topic I wanted to talk about. Yeah. So talk about how great they played and how well it sounded. Mm-hmm. But one thing I noticed with them, it's just like it's not like he's gonna listen.
He may, you don't know.
They had pretty weak stage presence.
Yeah,
and you have to give it to him because they're probably in their like late 30s, 40s, something like that.
Yeah.
And even his band members that he had with him, older guys and stuff like that. But I'm like, it was a little boring to watch.
No, I get that.
His guitar player had one of those like Y straps, like where it goes over both shoulders to like help with your back, to not be so heavy. That. And I'm like, oh God. Fucking God, are you kidding me? And then the bass player, he like was playing and like this like. Because it feels bad because I'm like I feel like I've pulled the curtain from me as like knowing so much about being in bands and stuff like that, and knowing the Ataris, and that like he has pretty much all session guys play with him. Yeah, they're all fill-in guys.
And that's been for the past like
the lead singer is the only original member, and so we're like, oh cool. Where's people watching the band? They don't know. They just like the songs, they love the record and stuff like that, which is perfect because I'm like it was a great vibe, and like for me I'm like. Drummer was pretty good. He was actually the best one. And whereas like the guitarist and bass player, like they could have just like put a curtain over him and you wouldn't have missed them.
Yeah.
Because they were literally standing there staring at their instruments.
That's a bummer.
Because they were trying to remember their parts.
Yeah.
Like I've been a fill-in guy. I've been a fill-in guy for, just in case.
Yeah.
Brian's band recently, and I'm doing another show later, but I'm like, sometimes like I have to try and remember my parts. But I'm like, recently...
Well, I think you do a good job of moving around.
Yeah, and because I'm confident with the songs. But these guys aren't confident with it. And I'm like...
That's a bummer. It's like their sixth show on this tour.
Yeah, on this tour. I'm like, and you guys are in a big band.
Yeah.
So anyways, it was something like that. I'm like, oh man, and it might not be a thing with them. It didn't take away from the show at all. I'm just saying like, it's something I noticed.
For you, you noticed it because one, you're in a band, and two, because you have a sick ass podcast.
Yeah, no, I mean, I needed a topic, but no, I just saw that. And I'm like, and Chris was the only one who was kind of
into it, right?
Into it. And another thing with him, this is me being a bitch.
Yeah.
he tuned after every fucking song.
Yeah, they
you
played
killed the dynamic every song. You had people hyped, and then you're like, you tune. I mean, honestly,
he would play like or he'd have the guy with the jazz master do some crazy like,
and they kept on like, I'm like, dude, I'm like, and you know why? It's because he played the traditional like Telecaster bridge, like the 3-barrel, like the saddles with like vintage tuners, and no Evertune.
No Evertune, no
like,
locking tuners.
No, like nothing. I'm like, there's nothing. I'm like, your guitar is probably not set up for the punk rock that you're doing because you played a vintage 52 Tele.
Yeah.
And those are really cool. American vintage Teles. I'm like, those are like what? Like fucking like almost $1,700 guitars. They're really nice, nitro finish, great fucking guitars. But I'm like, this is not set up for you, dude. Like for me, that's what I saw. I'm like, dude, you're killing the show.
Yeah.
Like he has an RC looper so he can play loops while he tunes. I'm like, sometimes the tuning breaks. I'm like, dude, this feels like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
It probably was.
I'm like, you're gotta be, what?
Okay, to be honest, it was also like 105 degrees.
Yeah, and everything felt
and
longer.
then the humidity from everyone like going.
Once he does, like, yeah,
everyone's
we're
sighing.
tuning again.
Yeah,
that's to me. I'm like, that just keeps selling me on the Evertune. I'm like, dude, I don't think I'll ever gig without an Evertune.
To be honest, I don't think I ever want to go to that club again.
Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, so it kind of killed the show to me. I'm like, okay, so that was like that. That's not what I want to talk about. The topic is your stage presence.
Yeah,
and like, what do you think that adds to the show? It's like the people who play. Does like their like performance, not only like musically, is that the biggest thing? Obviously, that kind of is the biggest thing. If they sound like shit, but they're dancing around like a bunch of monkeys, like that's not important. But I'm like, there has to be a fine line. Where is the line? What's stupid and like, can a show be too fucking boring?
Oh yeah.
So that's the topic. So like, not to just like shit on the Ataris. They sounded great. Honestly, they sounded great. It was a great fucking
really
show.
Good.
But I just had like, it's something I had to get off my chest. I had to get off my chest.
You feel better now?
I do.
All right.
So
good.
now let's talk about stage presence.
No, I think it's really important. Definitely really important.
Mm-hmm.
If you were standing behind a curtain and playing, not important.
Yeah.
But when people come to see a live band, they come to see a show. They're not just here to hear music. They want to see you playing it. They want to see you into it.
Yeah, enjoying it. Yeah, being
exactly.
a part of it.
So if you're not into it, they may turn off to the idea. I noticed that. Okay, back to the Atari show. Some people left immediately.
Yeah.
Some people left maybe like 3 songs into it. Like, oh, yeah, I can hang outside and listen to them.
Yeah,
and not have to see them. But if you're like the Gorillas, where you can like hide behind like an animated character and play, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you want to get people involved and hear like just super into what you're doing, you gotta make them feel it.
Yeah, and that's what I felt like with them. I don't want to harp on them anymore.
Okay, sorry.
So like,
maybe another live act you've seen.
No, when I see other bands play, even like local bands, I'm like, sometimes like they're just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
Like another like band, like we've seen local bands where it's like the bass player, like you can tell like not it's stereotypical, but the bass player is usually the least talented member of the band. That they're like, oh, you guys, you kind of fucking suck at guitar. So we're just gonna give you this cheap ass fucking Squire bass, and you just play kind of like guitar parts, but with just your first one finger, and you kind of move it around, right?
I want to disagree with you,
but you're like just to argue with my point, but you're like, oh, I'm kind of right.
God damn it, you're right.
Yeah. Like I said, it's stereotypical, but like it's like break the mold. It holds fucking water because I'm like. You've seen a lot of bands like that. It's like, oh, they have 2 guitar players that are like, oh, one is the singer, and then the other one is like, oh, the lead guy. He's
even
better.
The lead guy,
he's better. And then like, we just need to get any fucking like bass players are like, and like bass players are like a lot of revolving doors with people.
Yeah,
and like people don't see the importance of that instrument, but I think we do, and it's like kind of sets us apart from other punk bands and stuff like that. But like you've seen those bass players that are kind of just spacing out. They kind of just show up.
Like you wonder why that dude specifically is in the band. Like, why is that guy?
Does he
know someone in the band?
Like, he's there just
is he
because
like their
he's
manager?
Yeah.
Like outside
Like,
of
he's there because he's a homie, and he's
Yeah.
there because like they need that instrument filled.
Does he own the truck that moves the gear? Like what's up?
You're like a body with a pulse. That's why you're here. And
yeah,
so like
you can play bass basically.
And so we've seen that many a time. And there's a lot of guitar players and stuff like that too that are just super boring.
I think lead guys do the same thing.
Oh, because they're just too focused on
They're like, oh man, okay, I have 4 bars until my solo. I gotta hype up.
Yeah, we got. You're like, oh shit, we gotta focus only on my solo, and then when that comes up, then maybe I'll step up in front and do like a couple wheelie D's, and then pull back and just act like a dickhead.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't know. It's to me, I'm like, but then there's like the other line where like somebody like will jump around too much and be like all over the fucking place.
Yeah,
and like we have a friend that we knew, and like not no name names, but he was like, oh, we're doing a performance and we're doing it on like a news channel or whatever to hype up a show that they're doing. I think they were playing Warped Tour or something like that. But it's like, oh, they got featured on like a morning news thing, which is cool. It's whatever publicity you can get. You can be on TV for fucking shit. Just fucking do it. And he's like, oh, should I focus on playing better or like jumping around, stuff like that? I'm like, you're a fucking 30-something-year-old man. Did you just ask that question on Facebook, you moron?
Yeah.
Like, play your fucking parts right, dude. Like, play your parts and sound good, and then move around. Like, split the difference.
Yeah.
Like move around as much as like won't inhibit your playing. That's the bottom line of this whole thing.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to ask that question.
But I'm like, don't like move around less because you're like, oh, I'm kind of so tired. Nervous. Like fucking or like no, fucking put it out there, but like don't fuck up your parts. That's like put as much movement and emphasis into your moves or whatever I'm like, and it sounds dumb, but like sometimes you gotta like practice your parts, like maybe at band practice or even in front of a mirror. Like, see how dumb you look, or we're in a day and age where you record yourself playing. I'm like, if you look stupid, you're like, oh, I don't like the way I look doing that, then don't do it. I'm like, make yourself like, be the person that you want to see on stage. Like, I want to see this person, and like he's moving around really fucking awkwardly and lanky. Yeah, like I don't want to fucking do dumb shit like that, or like, or he's like, he's like super like robotronic that he's not doing the grooves. It's like too pre-planned, rock moves.
You gotta be cool, dude. Be cool.
Yeah,
that's the best. That's the best advice.
And it comes from me. Cool. Like I'll say it because like I've done it before where I've jumped around and been like super crazy on stage with the like sacrificing my playing. Like I've like sacrificed what I've played and how well I've played and on key or not even key, but I'm like, oh, maybe like before Evertune I would play standard normie guitars, and I would like jump back down and I would bend the notes because it was like, and like because I'm like I've jumped off like a speaker cab or something like that, or like whatever. I'm like, okay, and then it's just like, well, I did that. I killed the sound audio wise and like the audio spectrum by like trying to do a visually something cool, or like maybe I didn't land my part because I was too focused on like jumping around or running around stage. I'm like, we've all been kids. We've all been like teenagers. That's what I used to do. I don't do that anymore. I mean, also because I'm fatter and older.
Yeah,
but
when you're a kid, you like focus on like what looks cool.
Yeah, and now I'm like, okay, like that's why like another thing that people say like, oh, your band sounds way better. I'm like, oh, because I focus on the way on what I play, but I also still dance around. People are like, oh, you're still a showman. Like you were saying, like when I play in Just In Case, I'm like, I'm focusing on what I'm playing because I don't want to fuck up Brian's band.
Yeah.
But I still jump around and move around to an extent that's not ridiculous. Like I don't want to be like super.
No, you don't
weird.
Want to take away from like one. You're not singing. You're doing like background.
Yeah, and then
but you don't want to take away from the actual guy who's singing lead.
Yeah, and I one of my favorite moves, and this is a Brian tri-tip.
Yeah.
Like
stealing my
always
bit.
like
it.
If you're not like singing, like interact with the other band members. People will be like, oh, they're having fun, because it will get them to be like, oh, I'm out of my zone. Yeah. Sometimes like, Kyle will be in his zone where he's playing and like, oh, I'm focusing on this. I'm like, oh, we'll kind of, I'll bounce around. I'm like, oh, I'll go to his side. And then we have an interaction. It's like, oh, cool. I need to be loosey-goosey. Or like when I've played with Just In Case, like Adam sometimes will be like, we're not the best of homies. Like we've known each other for the past couple of years, but I'm like, oh, but when I go to his side of the stage and we start playing, I'm like, oh, we kind of, and then he's like, kind of remembers like, oh, have fun and move, because he'll sometimes like, I'm just singing and now the bridge part, I'm gonna play the bridge part because he's done singing lead. I'm like, dude, this is your time. You have like 8 measures to move.
Yeah,
and
do something.
Around and if we're playing a bigger stage, I'm
show
like,
that you're a human being.
And then like I always, even in playing or if I'm playing in Just In Case, I always interact with Brian on the drums, because he's focused and doing his fucking thing, and he's really animated
because
too.
he plays drums and also sings.
Yeah, and then he
sings background. He also can sing like a lead line.
Yeah, and he does lead singing too, and then he's doing everything. Even with playing, like he's super animated, and then he's going like I'll when as a guitar, I'm like, oh, I'm not singing during this part. Like there'll sometimes be times where I'm like, oh, Kyle's singing, so I even pull back from the spotlight and just stand by the drums and start like locking in with Brian, and he kind of gets it into the groove. They're like, oh, we're backing Kyle right now, and people can kind of see that. I'm like, oh, since we pulled back and Brian's not as animated, and I'm standing next to him, maybe like leaned down. And then people are like, oh, there's just the rhythm going, and Kyle's now the singer. And then when it comes to the chorus, I'm singing background, and Brian's more animated, and I'm singing at the mic, kind of maybe bopping and weaving or whatever. And it's a good
trade-off.
It's something like put some emphasis into the show, but don't be stupid. Don't be like, I'm gonna do backflips and stuff like that, but not play my parts.
Yeah, it's not your show the whole time, I guess, if you're not like...
Yeah, if you're... I don't know. I think...
You can be a front man, but let your other guy shine.
Yeah, and it's kind of a fun thing to do. And then my whole thing is like, don't just fucking stand there staring at your instrument. That's the whole gist of it. Like, but still play your parts. And like, there's a fine line, and you need to dance around it.
Yeah.
You can dance around it too. Do a fucking 2-step. I don't give a fuck. Soft shoe.
And I think I've gone through phases where I'm like trying to remember like, this is my part, and then like, man, I just want to fucking have fun tonight, and like, I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want, and then like playing like dive bars, and like people are getting into it, I'm like dancing with them, I'm not on some of these places, like some of these places we play, it's not technically a stage, it's like enough room for the drummer.
Yeah, you're on the floor.
And so on the floor, I'm like,
you're like
I feel like I'm right
people,
there with the people. So I'm like, I'm right there, looking them right in the eye.
I'm right in the grill.
Exactly.
What you into this?
So and I think that singing along, even though it's not your part, mouthing the words is kind of a cool thing. Like, that's that the bassist is fucking into it.
Yeah, now we're singing. I think we're kind of jumping into like tips for like if you want to add more to your band. This is what I like, and this is what we do.
Yeah,
I always like sing parts of. Like sometimes I'll sing your parts with you when I'm Brian and I like. I love it when I see like I turn around and see Brian mouthing the words and he's drumming.
Yeah, I kind of want to give him a microphone, but
it's just adding more to setup.
Yeah,
that I'm like I don't think he really wants.
No, exactly.
He doesn't really need to.
I know what you mean.
And he's like I think we've done it once, and then like we tried to set it up, and then it's like we played a show, and we're like, dude, we don't like it. It's more important that he sets up his in-ear mix than setting up a mic.
No, it shows everyone that you're into it also. Not just like, I'm playing along, like, I know these lyrics, I fucking love this, I'm singing along
like,
with it.
I love this song, and I'm singing along, and I'm not even in the mic singing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
I think that's cool.
So, that's pretty cool. I don't know, I think just adding some stage presence to your band, and or some type of like presence that you're into it and performing, because it's not just you playing the song, it's you performing the song. Make it a performance.
There you go.
And
that's
a
the difference between performing and playing.
Yeah. So, I think that's about it. I think we
can move on. You got another one?
I fucking pulled that one. Everything we had out of that one. You got a topic that you wanted to talk about. You threw this to me, and I'm kind of like, okay,
like a month or two ago.
Let's roll with it. It kind of goes off of that wah pedal that you have. This is your second wah pedal, and you're not a wah guy.
No, I'm not.
And so, why'd you get that wah pedal?
I don't think I'll ever be.
What was the whole reasoning behind that?
Well, the first wah I bought it to gut it, basically, and put something else in it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, be good for a good platform for something else, right? Just to be creative and throw something in there that no one ever thought of. And then I looked at it and I went, oh, this is actually a usable
That's pretty good,
wah volume boost with a LED.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything you want in a wah pedal. So I bought another one, and I'm thinking, what would be a good effect to put in there? I'm running through in my mind.
Yeah, so this, it's a little different than like a box because it's something that I guess.
So I'm gonna gut this one. This is just a traditional.
Yeah, the GCB or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
The regular deal. But you were mentioning to me, I'm like, oh, what are some like good pedals that could be in like a treadle type thing?
Yeah.
So it's like, think of like the Vibe, the Univibe type deal. And
Univibe, you have the Veraphase from Dunlop. I mean, that's already in, which would be cool just to buy that. But can I make my own? Like, is that something I can do?
So
which I think it'd totally be doable.
So like the rate thing is like based on your...
Depending on the pedal, you'd put whatever... you control the treadle. Let's say it was a carbon copy, which would be really cool, in my opinion, to do. You could put the actual like delay, the time on there.
Yeah,
and so you can affect that, and you can get it into the salt. You can have the self oscillation, and then pull out of it instead of just have it go crazy.
Yeah,
and then pull it out, and then play.
Yeah, there's a. Yeah, I mean, I do that live where I get it to self-oscillate and I do all the weird stuff, and then I'm like...
But then you kick it off, right? But then now your delay's gone, right?
You can turn it off if you want. There's a band that we like where Mrs. Magician, where they have like a part where like they're in their like... I think it's their like bridge or like the middle 8 type deal. It's like they go... Wow, wow,
yeah,
and like they have like... And he actually gets down, he'll do... Yeah, with the self-oscillation of the carbon copy. So he actually gets down and like, manipulates it live doing that. I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to have that
on pedal and you can still play something.
Yeah, a treadle and you don't have to like
hold the note and then take your hand off and roll your knob,
Yeah, it would I mean, it's kind of like adds to the show a little bit, but I'm like, oh, you can kind of make that, but like what if you didn't want to make that like the whole like bridge part? You can make that just like one part. It's like, oh, you go with this, and you kind of bring it back to like a quick slap, and like stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. I think there is. I'm sure you already know, but there's the Ernie Ball. They have 3 pedals now. They're in like the kind of the volume pedal format.
Yeah, they're still smaller,
a little bit shorter, but they're kind of on a treadle.
Okay.
Type deal. It's like they have a drive where I think it adds more of the distortion, like the gain, as you turn it up. And then they also have a delay, which I think adds more of the delay into it. I don't think it changes the time.
Okay.
There might be a knob that like switches what the treadle actually does.
Yeah.
And then there's a tremolo that changes the speed, I believe.
The trim, that would be kind of cool too. That would be another pedal I would be thinking about.
So you're what are some pedals that you would think of besides the 3 from Ernie Ball that they have? And so
I had listed distortion.
Yeah, so like more distortion.
Or maybe even an overdrive.
Yeah.
But I mean, you mentioned a trim. I'm thinking about maybe even contacting Like My Pedals because I think he may have something in the work.
Yeah. And he would do, I think even doing like a reverb would be cool.
Reverb would be really cool, but also maybe like a flange.
Oh, okay.
So you can really get,
some of the depth and time. And like
I may just build a whole pedal board with treadles.
Okay.
It'd weigh like 500 pounds.
But like, okay.
What with the reverb? Let's go back to the reverb. What are you thinking?
I was thinking because
what's the control that you'd have for that?
I like a spring reverb. I'm trying to dip more into like different crazier types of reverbs and stuff like that. But I like spring is kind of my favorite. I like a light. So
would you control the size of the room or what? Like the actual?
I would control the
slapback.
If I had a spring that could drip, I would want to control the amount of the mix, I guess.
So the mix,
like
okay, that makes
super drippy. If I pulled it all the way forward and be like,
so you have all your effects set, but your mix of your actual guitar tone versus the pedal tone.
And throw like, oh, I want it super crazy drippy, but I'm going to pull the drip back to maybe like when I'm doing like verses or, maybe like jangly parts. I'm like,
that would be cool.
Like, or like when I do like maybe like crazier parts that I want like, single note deals. Cause I'm like, if you do a chord with like super drippy, I'm like, it's cool, but I'm like, I'm not doing a fucking surf thing.
I mean, I'm asking for a friend, but like what, like simple reverb pedal would you put in a treadle? Shit.
Probably I don't know how simple it is.
Maybe like
the FRV1.
Oh God, okay. Those are so expensive though.
Yeah.
Maybe what else was a RV5?
Those are not simple. They have
Those are
like
even more-
7 like different like it's a digital.
Maybe I'm just
most
naming
reverbs
off
are
Boss
digital.
pedals now that aren't simple.
I mean,
is
I
there
don't-
another reverb pedal that you can think of?
Holy Grail, I think.
Was
Those are
that No, that's EHX?
electro harmonics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played those, but I heard they're good. The Ataris, we talk shit about them, but he had one.
He had one.
Yeah,
Okay.
he had one of the bigger guys.
I tried to get good pictures of their pedals, but I could not because of there's this dickhead guy who's running the load-in.
yeah.
I don't even know what his deal was.
Yeah, he was just like, I think he was just like killing everybody's buzz.
Like
but
they hired him for the night, and he didn't know how to work with like people.
he's like, oh no, I'm just fucking gonna be a bitch the whole time.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So anyway, tried to get like their like close to their pedal board, and I'm like, oh, he did like he still has the same thing where he has 2 like PT
boards,
nano size Nano Plus,
Which
or whatever.
works in like a club like that, like super small.
Yeah.
I get that.
Another thing that he added to the thing, I'm like, oh fuck. I'm talking shit. I'm already doing it.
Go do it. I want to hear it.
He brought a fucking fan and set it up on stage. I'm like,
Okay,
wow,
hold on.
dude, that's way more. Another thing that you got to set up on stage to where maybe that's why they couldn't move so much, because there was a big, floor fan pointed up at him.
To be honest, when I first walked into the club, I was like, oh, thank God they got their AC running.
Yeah,
And then I moved to where like the stage was. I was like, fuck, it's like Hades up here, dude.
yeah. It was like, man, that's fucking stupid. Like, you took time to plug that in and set it up and get like
And then
square
angle
footage
it.
and like stuff like that. It's like, okay, I'm like, wow, what a waste. Just drink water or something. I don't know.
They were
Anyways,
good though, right?
They were. I'm like, no, I'm just talking shit. I mean, I need to stop.
So anyways, treadle pedals.
Yeah. So I don't know. What are some other ones? I don't know. What would it be?
I don't know. Flange would be cool.
I was about to say, I'm like, oh, what if you could do like something that brings your volume up and down?
Oh dang, that'd be like the simplest one.
I don't know. That's like,
Just get a.
honestly, a lot of these things. Not to take piss out of the whole thing. I'm like,
They're not real problems.
no. I mean, digital effects usually have expressions to where you can
Yeah.
but it's like,
Well, you gotta switch between them.
You have to get like a timeline or something. So there's like a big barrier to entry, and then you have to like be able to program the
and then you
expression
have to have
out
like
to
a favorite switch.
Yeah, because I'm able to. I have an two expression outs on my fractal. I'm like, yeah, we're not using these.
Yeah.
Because it's a pain in the ass. I'm like,
Yeah, you don't have the real estate to work with that.
and I think I said once I was trying to use my wah like on my fractal, which sounds really great, but I'm like, it's just taking up. Like, I was trying to use expression pedal with that, and then it's just like, okay, to be able to control what I want to do with it, it's just like more of a pain in the ass, and using CPU and stuff like that. I'm like, fuck it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But I like the idea of analog pedals using like not even an expression out, but I'm like, your pedal is the expression. That kind of brings
No.
it down to like, I'm controlling one fucking thing on this.
And that's cool.
I like that. I think that's pretty
and
cool.
I think, creatively you can basically pick anything and put it in there.
Well, I think,
And
like the,
I think Jim Bowers is onto something.
well, the
He's throwing me into this.
like pedals that can self-oscillate. Whatever the gauge is that self-oscillates it or
Yeah.
makes it oscillate. So like the lamp electric MNTP that has that self-oscillation
Yeah.
button that you kind of hold.
You hold
It's
it
a
down.
non-latching button.
Yeah.
If you had that on a treadle like kind of
You
deal,
could,
that'd be like,
you could
oh.
still put it on that.
Yeah, you can like, oh, I have my usable like fuzz kind of like lead tone or main tone here. And like
And you tap
now
that.
we roll it up to go and you kind of do like some crazy stuff. Because I have a non-latching button on one of my settings on my fractal that I use to where I add more reverb and chorus only on as hard and long as I push the button down.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. That had like some like vibrato. No, fucking. I use the whole like setup to like fuck exactly what I was saying. Vibrato would be great to have it on a treadle.
All right.
To be like, I want to have it go like, and like on a treadle, but like bring it up. I mean, chorus, I guess. Chorus. I want to have
Chorus
it.
will be better.
I want to have it chorus
Yeah.
down like a light kind of like, CE2 kind
You
of
can
deal
work
chorus,
your-
and then you bring it up to a crazy vibrato going like as you push it down, like.
Yeah, I get that.
So I wanted to go fucking crazy boys. That'd
I'm
be
a
fun.
crazy boy.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That'd be fun. I'm like, well, I mean,
I think it's a fun project. I'm gonna see how I do on the first one,
yeah.
and I kind of want
Just
to
take apart Johnny's CE2 and put it.
Yeah,
into
that'd be great, John. If you're listening, just go ahead and send that back over.
Send it back over. We're gonna take it apart.
And I'll give it back to you maybe in pieces.
RPP.
No, I think what I'm gonna try and do is try and keep the actual pedal as. I'm gonna try and lead off of the main circuit board without messing with
taking the whole thing apart.
So we'll see. We'll see how that works. If that's even possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's because I know on the MXR boards they're all like mounted, but if I can do some leads off onto a
Gotcha.
Some prongs onto a we'll see how it goes. But this is my commitment. I will show you what I'm working on, even if it's a piece of shit.
All right, so you got some ideas. You got some cool stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to be another topic that I have. So, do you ever judge bands initially just by their gear?
Not at all. No, I don't ever. I don't ever.
I think it's a question that I didn't need to ask.
Yeah,
but why
I
do
do.
you? What like okay, so you see a band roll up, they put the cab down, they put an HDFX Marshall on top of that cab. The bass player rolls up. He puts a Ampeg 350H or whatever the
Or
hell
like
it
a
is.
B2R.
Yeah, but a 350H that's the main offender. The dude who has like the full amp,
fake.
the amp like head. It looks like an SVT Classic or VBH or whatever.
Yeah, it's a 350. Was it the B? No, it's a 350.
I thought it was 350H.
It's the SVT 350H.
Yeah.
So when you see the H on there, it's like, oh, this is the head.
Yeah.
This is the H.
I guess, okay, I threw those two out there because those are the two that I see. I'm like, these are people who are like, yo, we got Marshalls. Oh, well, no, you got an HDFX. Yo, we got an Ampeg. But I'm like, no, you got 350H. And so I'm like, I instantly judge those type of bands. And then I see like, okay, so with their gear, we've already harped on it, but it just bears repeating. Pedals on the fucking stage with no pedal board. Fuck the fuck off. Get
What
the
if
hell
you
out
have
of
one
here.
pedal?
I would say still get a board. Put Altoids tin on there.
Okay.
Because you know that you're. I don't know. That one's a little different. But if you have like two at least,
Yeah, and they're just floating.
yeah, just like
They
put them
kicked around.
put them on a fucking board. Because I'm like, dude, they're gonna be kicking around everywhere. They'll be elevated. They
Yeah.
won't get beer spilled on it. Call back. It's like throw those on there. Like that could have been a good thing. Like
That's true.
Drew could have saved
If you
himself.
have 2 inches of beer flowing through the room,
yeah.
that sounds like a party, actually.
Yeah, like I want to go do a swan dive in 2 inches.
Break your neck.
No, I think that is a big thing. I'm like, so you see bands. I'm like, okay, and now to bring it even more jerky and type thing. I'm like, you see somebody with an Epiphone, you see somebody with like a Squire, you see somebody with like the OLPs or whatever.
No,
I'm like, where's the line and what for you? So you do judge a band like they could be a fucking amazing group, but if they have shit ass gear, you're kind of like, ooh,
like first impressions.
You better blow me away.
Yeah, exactly.
In the first song,
people say don't judge a book by its cover. I'm looking at that cover right away.
I'm looking.
I'm sorry,
and I better be liking.
And then I want to hear the content. And then when I first I give you 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you're not giving me much.
Like, cause I mean, and this
I'm
is
go
just
outside and hang out with my smoker friends.
Yeah,
I don't smoke.
And this
though.
is like the stereotypical thing. It's like judging a book by its cover, but it's also like more or less people who give a shit about their craft are gonna be stepping it up a little bit.
Yeah,
like okay, we all know it's like, oh, you got shit that you're working on. You might not have money in this aspect. Maybe you're a struggling musician. Maybe you're super hungry because you're working for it all the time, but you're killing it all the time. Well, that's not always the case.
Yeah.
But there might be people who like are struggling. And so I'm like, I keep trying to pull it back because I don't want to ever judge bands on what they play.
It's
because
true.
like, dude, I mean, I used to play like but the thing is, granted, I did suck at the time. I was playing a Squire with like, I had a Fender frontman. That was like kind of my first like kind of like rig.
And I played that Fender frontman.
Yeah, for a little bit. I mean, it's like, but the thing is, we couldn't judge us. But honestly, you legitimately could judge us because we weren't that good at the time.
It's true.
We were like 14, 15 years old. I'm like, you had every right to judge us and think that we sucked dick because we did at the time.
Yeah.
But we were having fun and we were doing it. I'm like, you put up with a judgment. And so to me, I'm like, okay, I always try and give a band a shot. Like exactly like you said.
Yeah.
Give them, 5.
Maybe a little more than 5 minutes.
Give them a couple songs because we all know what like sound check is like. You might not dial it in right away. The sound guy might do it, but you can always like tell like a band like, oh shit, this is like one of their first couple shows. Maybe they had a good draw the first time. They're back at the same club or whatever, and it's like, man, smoke break.
Yeah.
I don't smoke, but I'm going to take it up today.
I think that
it's also I'm like, you just don't want to do it. I'm like, exactly like I said, it's a notion in my head that I just believe that people who care more about their band and music and like they play better and they try more, they will probably invest a little bit more into gear.
Yeah. Or if they have shitty gear, they will play as best as they can still,
and they still will make it professional.
Yeah,
so if they make the shit like because they'll win you over with their performance. If a band like they'll win you over with their performance, not with their gear. But like as gearheads, and we all are who are listening to this, like we are kind of judging bands by the gear, and there's so many levels. Like once you get past the threshold of like beginner amateur type stuff, like gear. That's terrible to say amateur because we're amateur.
Yeah.
But
amateur.
Once you like the very beginner gear. Amateur was not a right word. Take that back. But beginner gear, I'm like, you're Affinity Squires. You're like, and once you get to like maybe classic player Squires, those are like, okay, those are perfect. Like you're starting to get to professional level because people can play those live and tour with those. But it's like, okay, maybe like with gigging gear, I'm like, okay, that's like as far as amplifiers, that's where it's a grayer area that I'm like, it's hard to say, but I'm like, once you don't go tube with guitar, you kind of are always gonna be like bedroom to me.
Yeah.
And I need to get out of that phase because I'm like, katanas are great.
Yeah.
They sound fucking great. I have a friend who toured Japan with a katana.
Yeah.
And it's like, I need to get out of that whole thing because we're like, and then the Crush Pro 20s from Orange, those are like, and 60s, they're like a perfectly good solid state amp. But I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
They kind of look like regular oranges or like the tube oranges. And that's me just like.
I think we're getting like, just because you play really well doesn't mean your music's really good, That's another thing.
Yeah.
It's like, if it's uninteresting still,
yeah, no,
you may be climbing up your scales and like hitting all those notes, but like
your composition and you compose. Yeah, exactly. Shit, I never thought of that. That's
classification.
A good one.
You're losing me, man.
Yeah,
like you're playing your bridge 3 times in a row.
We can thank the whiskey for that. I never thought of that point. I'm like, you can actually like be a really great player and play really bad gear. Mm-hmm. But your songs suck.
Yeah, and that's like a whole nother topic.
And honestly, that is. So like, we don't want to.
There's so many factors in seeing a live band.
Yeah, that's why I think it's great for us to harp on this whole live band thing because I'm like, your songs can be like you could be like killing it. Your stage performance, your like gear could be great. Your fucking like performance could be on point.
You could be the next like Slash,
and like, oh, the songs fucking suck dick, dude. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, we're still gonna back this guy up, though. I'm like, well, then your band is never gonna go anywhere because your songs are terrible. Yeah. Nobody's gonna want to listen to it, and unfortunately, that is all subjective.
It's true
because who knows what's gonna be good, and who knows what's gonna pop, and who knows what's gonna hit with somebody else. Because the thing is, somebody wrote it, and you're gonna try connect with other people. So,
yeah. So, everything's a variable.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Yeah. Honestly, I think to cap that one off, I'm like, I just want to say, like, your gear isn't the most important part. And when you're watching a band, like, don't always judge them on their gear, but you can a little bit.
Yeah. You can't use it as like a full, like
that's not a like end all be all.
Yeah.
But, I do it all the time and I'm really trying not to do it.
Yeah. You can still do it.
And
you can feel dirty after you've done it. It's okay. It's perfectly
like a
normal.
band can be like you can take away from a band if they you can. How about that's more of the shit list that you can add onto a band. It's like, oh yeah, they played terrible. They added on to their set and they were jerks to everybody, and they fucking played in HDFX. And a line 6.
I like the way an HDFX sounds.
Get out of here. I think we fucking like squoze everything we out of that. Had out of that one.
Blood from a stone.
Yeah. All right, so we had we're gonna close it out here, but before we go, we actually had a couple more reviews on iTunes that we wanted to read. All right, Kyle, you got them queued up. Why don't you read these bad boys on out to us?
Yeah.
What do people have to say about the Tone Jerks?
So this is titled Dudes.
With my dudes.
Okay. Yeah, with 4 exclamation points.
There you go.
That's some serious shit right there. So this is from Mark C. Gannon. I have no idea who that is. You guys are fucking hilarious. Actually, it's FKG, so I think that's freaking hilarious.
Okay.
You guys are freaking hilarious. I love when Kyle ruins Brian's games, like the 2-pedal game when he chose 2 H9s.
Oh, jeez.
Bloody brilliant. This guy's British or
probably
something.
British, I guess.
Yeah. Also rants against what is likely the biggest problem facing mankind today. The multi-instrumentalist.
God, that's the people who play a bunch of instruments that they suck dick at all of them.
Every single one of them.
But yeah.
Keep fighting the good fight, comrades. And then he says, El Caminos rule, and then booyah. And the El Caminos do rule.
Yeah.
Is it a car? Is it a truck? No one will ever know.
Well, thanks for that one. I'm like, I don't personally like it when Kyle ruins my games and my topics, but whatever. If that's what the people want, then I guess Kyle's going to keep on keeping on. Oh. So thanks for that review. Is it Mark?
That's from Mark.
Oh, thank you, Mark. How many stars was that?
That was 5 stars.
Oh shit! You can't see me, but I'm dabbing. Okay,
you can hear my arms swiping through the air.
Dabbing intensifies.
Yeah. All right, so we had another one. So this is a 2-banger this week. Pretty good. We had. Oh, that's weird. This one's titled 0 out of 10 stars. Would not bang is what it's titled. This is from Johnny Two Guns.
Oh, Johnny Ray. We all know Johnny Ray.
We all know Johnny Ray.
The boat guy.
Yeah, the boat. Oh, that's the boat guy.
He'll forever be known as the boat guy.
So he says, top-notch podcast, gentlemen. Keep jerking it. And this is a 5-star review, but he said 0 out of 10.
Well, I like it.
His scale's all off the charts.
Talking some shit, but he's also giving us 5 stars. You guys, I like that. If you guys want to talk all the shit you want in the review, but give us 5 stars.
That doesn't matter. No one reads those. So
yeah, and so if you guys leave us a review on iTunes, it will really help. So just like say, anything that you want to say to us, like just let it all out. Let it all out there.
But give us 5 stars.
Give us 5 fucking stars.
Yeah. But we will read it.
Yeah,
actually.
we're gonna read them on the air. So be brutally honest if you want to. Yeah, and then I think that's about it. I guess we'll before we go, we just want to thank some of our Patreon patrons. Thank you for sponsoring the show.
Thank you so much.
And if you guys don't know what Patreon is, it's a way you guys can help support the show for as little as $1 a month. And for $2 a month, just double down, you guys can get an extra episode every week. Like, we're talking about the nitty gritty kind of shit. Sometimes we go into extra topics. We go into behind the scenes type of shit. We
just let loose.
We just let it all out. If you
thought we were letting loose before.
No, this is like Tone Jerks After Dark.
Off the rails.
Yeah. After dark. That's after dark.
It's after dark and off the rails. Dang.
But, oh man. So we just want to say, give a quick shout out to all the people who have been helping us out. So here we go. Better be ready for it. So we want to give a shout out to Co and Paul from the Flip and Flippers podcast. They're a great podcast. Kyle's on this week, unless Co fucked up and didn't release it. So
we probably will. We're Tone Bros though.
We got Johnny Two Guns, Johnny Ray. We love him. You love him. We have Michael Newman. We have Abe Newman. No relation.
As far as we know.
Yeah, we have Doug Gone. We have not been fucking that up because I think we say his name both ways. So, he's like, yeah, just fucking keep going. So thank you. And then we also have Jamie Davis.
Oh yeah,
you know
the one,
him.
the only.
Yeah, you know him, you love him. We have Jason Fuzzmonger. We have Fat Foot Effects.
Yeah, Fat Foot.
We have that contest that's going to be going down real soon, so just stay posted. It's a sweet ass pedal that we are going to be giving away just for free for following us and Fat Foot on Instagram.
I mean, that's a lot of work, actually. It's not really free.
You got to push that fucking
put
button.
an asterisk next to that,
And then we have RJ from the YouTube Telly Talks. Check him out on YouTube. He's on Instagram as well. He's doing a bunch of cool ass shit. We have Like My Pedals. A bunch of custom pedals, bunch of cool dealies. I think we mentioned them today. We love them. You love them. You know them. Joseph, thank you so much. We have Bruce Banana. We have Jim Bowers.
Yeah.
Fucking
Jimmy.
Yeah. Jimmy, that's what you call him?
I don't know. I don't.
I'm gonna start calling him that now. He's gonna be like
Jimmy Bowers.
He's gonna comment. Don't fucking call me Jimmy again.
What the hell's going on? I'm pulling it.
we have Jim Bowers. We have Will. How's it going?
Will Lehue.
You say it right.
Yeah, I say it right.
We have Pelican Noiseworks Leon.
Oh man,
he's supporting the Tone Jerks. And then last but not least, this is the correct way to say it.
Yes.
It's Doug Christ.
Doug Christ.
We said Christ last time. He's like, no,
that's right.
It's not like Jesus.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's been dealing with this his whole life.
He it's
fine.
He messaged me. He's like, oh, thanks for the shout out, but
he didn't send us a cease and desist order, so it's good.
So far, so good. So far, he's liking it. So thank you guys for listening and tuning in, and and thank you to all the Patreons for helping support the show.
Thank you so much.
It's like the fact that one, you guys are even paying attention to us, and the fact that you guys are helping, us with what we got going on here financially. It's fucking crazy. I'm like, we love you guys. We love the feedback. We love the feedback in the Facebook group and on Instagram. And I think I'm just blowing a bunch of hot air and just like getting to
we like hot air sometimes.
Sentimental here. We love you, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
All right, see you. Bye.